Lost Treasure of the Emerald Eye, the first book in the Geronimostilton series. Okay, let's begin. Chapter 5. Anything missing? 15 pounds of extra sharp cheddar, 80 boxes of mac and cheese, 10 tubs of swish, 9 bags of nashor chips unsalted. The next morning, I stood on the deck of the Lucky Lady, reading out a list of our supplies. What a mess. Drop. Fill up the water tank, I instructed my cousin, but instead of filling the water tank, he poured water into the full tank. What are you doing? I squeaked. I think you are better laid off the extra sharp. It seems to be affecting your brain. I turned to my sister. Tia, run and get me the compass I ordered down at Potts, Must and Beyond. Ask him to see the owner, Squeaky LaRue, also known as the Squeak. He's a friend of mine, so he should give you a discount. You can't miss him. He's a tall, thin, grey mouse with a tail so furry you could use it to dust every room in your mouse hole. Just then I noticed Trap talking to the young sheep. Rat on the boat, next to ours. That's right, my young rat friend, he whispered. Don't tell anyone. We're looking for something, but I can't tell you what. It begins with a T and ends with an E. That's right, it's on an island. Quick as a cow at a mouse convention, I leap at and yank Trap away by the tail. Are you going to blur out the whole story about the treasure? I ease. Trap gave me an innocent smile. Did I mention a treasure? There are lots of words that begin with T and end with an E. You know, asmr. Telephone, for example. Or how about tic-tac-toe? I bumped my head against the side of the ship. By 6 o'clock that night, we have finished loading. I rushed to Rat's Authority, the best store in town for sporting goods. Can you help me, please? I said to Scratch, the mouse who owns the place. I want to get everything I would need for a long sea voyage, and I'm in a bit rush, so if you could hurry. Well, tickle me with a cat for feather. If it isn't Geronimostilton, the newspaper mouse, Scratch cried. What an honor. It then began to drag out everything in the entire store. My head was spinning. There were 10 pairs of waterproof underwear, a floppy cheddar colored straw hat that squeaked if you stay out in the sun too long, and a light brown shape like a slice of cheese on a 5-foot long platter. I also need a suitcase, a set to Scratch, or better yet, a big truck. I got just a thing for a sharp mouse like you, Mr. Stilton, he remarked, his eyes gleaming. Follow me. He led me to the back. He led me to the back of the store, where he unlocked the door to a small room. Then, like the famous magician Harry Ratini, he lifted the silk cloth with a flourish. There stood a trunk, as tall as a circle mouse on stilts. It was covered in bright yellow leather that glowed in the dark. It was as wide as the giant form spend so much. Funny how such a small mouse could give you such a big heartache. Funny how such a small mouse could give you such a big heartache. My daydreams were interrupted by trouble. He appeared on a deck, munching on a bag of nacho cheese chips. Hey there, cousin, he squeaked with his mouth full. What's up? Be careful, I warn. Don't get any grease on the deck. You're such a worrywart. Worrywart, he muttered, laying his crazy paw right on the deck. I closed my eyes and counted to 10. Just bring me my chart, I sighed. I need to see if we are on course for Treasure Island. Hey, no problemo, my little cousin. Squeaking trap, waving a little foryou at me. He did a little dance. Look out, I shirked, almost a step on my glasses. I broke out in a cold sweat. Without my glasses, I couldn't tell the difference between a slice of mozzarella and a hunk of cheddar. Why, oh, why have we rolling along? Chapter 7. Fresh clams, anyone? It was evening, and the red sun sat on the ocean like a cherry on top of a piece of cheesecake. Like a cherry on top of a piece of cheesecake. Up in the sky, white fluffy clouds of whipped cream floated around. What a delicious view, I sighed. But just as I was beginning to enjoy it, I heard a mouse screaming. Yeah, that rotten stuff is trying to kill me. It was my cousin's voice. Tia and I rushed to help him. What happened? What is it? We squeaked together. What is it? We squeaked together. Trap was slipping around on one paw. This rotten stuff keeps jumping up and down like a teenage mouse at a Wild Whiskers concert. Shirking my cousin, massaging his toe. I burned my bow with the clam sauce. He slumped onto the padded sofa to check out his toe. Maybe you two can set the table at least, Trap continued. Why, you've been up on deck enjoying the fresh air. I've been busting my tail down here. He closed his eyes and yawned. As I do everything, I gave the clam sauce a good sniff as Tia mixed it into the pasta. Now I know why in medieval times they poured boiling oil on their enemies from the castle walls. Whined my cousin. He cradled his burnt paw protectively. Why, Trap, I didn't know you were so cordial, I remarked, filling my plate. My cousin smirked. What culture? I got that from a cartoon on television. He scoffed. You can find everything on television, you know. Yes, of course you can, I answered absent-mindedly. I was sniffing at the sauce again. Are you sure these clams are fresh? What do you mean fresh? Of course they're fresh, Trap insisted. Cross my heart. It's just that they smell sort of like a skunk at a cheap perfume counter. I offered. My cousin jumped off of the sofa. Are you calling me a liar? He shouted. I told you they were fresh, as fresh can be. If you don't believe me, fine. I guess you just enjoy hurting my feelings. Tia grabbed a slice of bread and headed for the stairs. It's my turn to stand watch, she chirped, racing away. I hesitated for a moment, then began to eat very slowly. I don't think I'll have any clams after all. I lost my appetite. Said Trap, nibbling some bread and cheese. At 2 o'clock that morning, I woke up with an horrible stomachache. I dashed to the bathroom, my glasses dangling off my That's when I discovered the breadcrumbs of the floor. The breadcrumbs on the floor. Strange, very strange, I thought. The trail of crumbs led to a barrel full of apples. I lifted the barrel lid. Inside, I found 5 shoe apple cores. Did we have a stowaway on board? I decided not to say anything to the others, not yet anyway. If I was wrong, they would make fun of me for the rest of the trip. The next night, when everyone was asleep, I sprinkled some baby powder in front of the kitchen door. Then I tied a piece of thread to the doorknob. Early the next morning, I went down to check. Just as I thought, the thread had been broken, yet it looked like someone had been sticking their paws in their own cheese pit jar. Then I noticed the paw prints in the paper. Oh, they were very, very, very small. Could they belong to a drug mouse? I decided I had to do something before the little thief ate us right out of houseboat and home. That night I slept with my lucky baseball bat by my side. It was a present from Slow Black Jones, also known as Slowly. An old rat friend of mine who plays professional baseball. If that stowaway came after me, I'd be ready for him. It was 1 o'clock in the morning when I finally heard creaking sounds coming from the kitchen. I put on my glasses, then I grabbed a flashlight with my right paw and the bat with my left. When I got downstairs, the sneaky thief was opening the fridge. I tiptoed toward him and switched on the light. "Ah!" I cried, ready to strike. Then my mouth dropped open. It was my nephew Benjamin, happily munching on a cheesy chew. "Hello, Uncle," he squeaked, flinching his paw around my neck. He kissed me on the tip of my snout. "Aren't you glad to see me?" "But why? But how? But when?" "I mean, what are you doing here?" I stammered. "I promised to make myself useful," he cried. "I'll sweep the deck, fold your clothes, stack your hats. Did you know I am a champion stacker? I got an A+ in stacking at Little Dale's Academy when I was in kindergarten, and I'll be your secretary too, so when you go back you can write a wonderful book." There was only one thing to do. I gave him a giant mouse hug. "I love you very much, Benjamin." "I love you very much, Benjamin," I said, "and I am very glad you are here." Why, what, how, well. Chapter 9. Mouse overboard. It was 11 o'clock at night, and I was standing watch at the helm. "Everything all right, Geronimeister?" asked Tia. "It would be even better if you didn't call me Geronimeister," I squeaked. It was getting colder. Was the weather going to change? I lifted my snout to look at the clouds, but just then the ball tipped and the ball hit me on the back. Before you could say "cream cheese and rye, hold the tomato," I was knocked overboard. I didn't even have a chance to squeak. The ball sailed away from me as it floundered in the waves. Fortunately, Tia had seen me go over. Mouse overboard. She shrieked. Immediately, all the lights came on, and the lucky lady turned toward me. "Trap, switch on and searchlight. Help, over here," I cried. Cold water seeped into my form. My teeth began chattering so hard I thought they would bounce right off my mouth. There he is, I heard someone shout. Suddenly, I was flooded with light. They had spotted me. Benjamin threw me a line, but I couldn't catch it. Then I felt a strong paw grab me by the ears. It was Trap. Come on, cousin, grab hold of my tail, he screamed. He dragged me back to the lucky lady. Ben and Thea lowered a rope ladder. Splat! I sputtered a spray of water and opened my eyes. Trap was jumping up and down on my stomach. He's alive! He's alive! Cried my cousin. My ears were blue from the cold. Tia was holding my paw. Tears shone in her eyes. Uncle Trap, you really are a hero, Ben exclaimed. Really, Trap? We don't know how to thank you, Tia added gratefully. Trap was blushing. Oh, it's nothing, Ratlins. Just another day for me. Don't mention it. He shrugged. He threw away, whistling the theme song from his favorite TV show, X-Mouth. What a character. Trap pretends to be tough, but he's really a total softie. In fact, I say he's just as soft as my aunt Ratilda's homemade cream cheese. Chapter 10. A true sailor always knows what to do. On the morning of the 32nd day of sailing, I woke up with a start. Wake up, Hurricanes, Thea shouted in my ear. There's a storm out there. Still half asleep, I slip on my coat and followed Thea up to the deck. The sky in the east was dark with big black clouds. Go and lower the sails, Thea. No, wait a minute. Leave the smallest one up. That way the boat will hold. This is better, I said. Maybe sailing wasn't such an easy thing after all. I better get Trap. I told my sister, he's a true sailor. He'll know what to do. I left Thea at the helm and went below to search for my cousin. The boat was being tossed about by the churning wave, which kept growing bigger and bigger. I opened the door to Trap's cabin. My cousin was huddled up in his bunk under the covers. Trap, the lucky lady, is taking on water. We don't know what to do, I shouted, shaking him. I don't know either, he mumbled, rolling his eye. Pop, I sputtered, tossing my hat on his bed. I thought you knew everything about the sea. Didn't you say you were once the captain of a ship? In answer to my question, my cousin sat up with a jolt and threw up right into my hat. Holy shit, I screamed, leaping away from the bed. I fell against Trap closet. A book fell out. I stared at the title. Learn how to say in 800 easy lessons. A horrible feeling gripped me, like a mouse trap in a fully stocked kitchen. I grabbed the book. The bookmark was stuck at page 11. Lesson number 3. Cells come in many different colors. Try to pick one that will make you smile. Smile, I shouted. You'll be lucky if you can still eat soft cheeses when I'm through with you. I screamed at Trap. He had crawled back under the covers. I'll deal with you later, I called as I rushed back outside. Waves as high as Mount Everest were pounding onto the deck. Each time the bow of the ship hit a wave, the boat sank lower. Then it would pop up again, this time tilted in the other direction. Trap wasn't the only one feeling seasick. I lurched over to my sister and gave her the bad news about high-pitched whistle could have called every dog in the world. Moldy mozzarella, this is not a storm, this is a hurricane. I thought, nervously tugging the fur on top of my head. What rotten luck to be caught by the storm just now. We have only 2 or 3 more days before we will hit Treasure Island. Each time the boat rocked, I could hear my seasick cousin running down in his cabin. Serves him right, I thought. Tim's trap accidentally forgotten to mention he was never a captain of a ship. He was a cook. Night came and things got even worse. We couldn't make out the direction of the waves in the dark. The lucky lady rocked back and forth, like my uncle Neville's dancing at a family wedding. We were sucked through to our tonsils. Dawn came and the sea was still raging. Suddenly, disaster struck. A gust of wind tore down the mast. The lucky lady tilted on its side and water began to flood in. Chapter 11. The Trunk of Many Wonders. I found myself adrift in the icy sea. I thrashed about for a long time, spitting out salty water. Monster-sized waves kept rolling me around. I felt like I was stuck in the rinse cycle of a giant washing machine. Suddenly, I caught sight of a little grey furry thing. Benjamin! 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 I cried, grabbing him by his tail. As if by magic, the wind stopped. I looked around. The lucky lady had vanished without a trace. We needed something to hold on to. And then I saw it. Well, happy birthday to me, and to Benjamin too, of course. It was my trunk. I grabbed it with all my muscly strength, standing upright on the trunk. I scanned the earth for Thea and trap. Not a head or tail inside. By afternoon, I was beginning to lose hope, but then I spied 2 very, very small dots in the distance. My heart beat so fast, even my force stood up to see what all the fuss was about. Thea, trap! I shouted at the top of my lungs. It was my sister and my cousin. All right, I bawled out to them, both flying. Take hold of my tail, I shouted as I dragged them in. I really thought it was the end, cousin, panted Trap, collapsing onto the trunk. Thea wrapped her tail around my big brother. I'm so glad you're okay, she sighed. I hugged her tight. Tears rolled down Thea's wet, furry face. Trap was crying too, for different reasons. The emerald eye is off. We'll never find it now, without the map. I glanced at my sister. For some reason, she was screaming. Did someone say map? She slipped a bow under her sweat, and out came the grandma map. Crunchy cheese chunks, shouted Trap. He threw his bun in the air like he just won tickets to a super